All right now, so Trump does a victory lap because Mexico just bowed to Trump's whims and said, all right, we're going to send 10,000 troops to the U.S. border in exchange for a pause in tariffs. Now, this pause is for the troops. However, it may not stop the fentanyl being smuggled into the United States. And the reason why is if you know that that place is going to be heavily guarded, well, you're going to seek another way of getting around that problem. Now, this is from the Wall Street Journal, of all places, that states that more fentanyl is being smuggled in through U.S. ports than it is through the border of Mexico since 2023. Now, people are going to say, well, then just secure the ports more. Okay, well, we can do that, but they'll find another means. See, if you know it, you have a hot commodity, you're going to find whatever means you can to get that commodity to your consumers, even if it's legal or illegal. The Mexico tariff is going to be stopped for 1 month. Why is it 1 month? Because there's going to be a review process. How well the illegals are stopping at the border and being turned back. Now, the other thing too, that Mexico is not saying, and I'm sure the Trump administration knows this, is that the cartels are the 5th largest jobs producer in Mexico. So that basically means they ain't going away anytime soon. Now, I'll say that this is a good thing that Mexico did, even though they are ran by a cartel, and the cartels, they're just laughing at this. They're not worried. The only time they'd be worried is if you literally take their empire and burn it right in front of them. And give them a shovel and tell them they gotta go back digging ditches for $2 a day. That's the only time they'd be worried. And that brings to a point. All this illegal drugs, human trafficking, fake clothing, fake auto parts, it is just created because there's a black market for it. And why is there a black market for it? Let's just face it. Everybody wants to stretch their dollar as much as they can. And these black markets are open only because they can outsell the competitor. The competitor meaning the honest industrial-like companies, whoever they may be. Because their stuff is just too much, and it takes me a person weeks or even years to afford whatever they need, instead of going down to the illicit black market and getting that Louis Vuitton bag for $200, and when it retails for $2,000, and just say, hey, that's good enough for me. Or, you know, if you need that certain bolt for your classic ride. And you know, those certain bolt packages cost $300, bumper to bumper, all the bolts you need. Well, you can go down to Honest Joe's and get that same kit for $150. I mean, what are you gonna do? Sure, you might have to deburr the threads a little bit, or maybe re-chase the threads because they're a little bit big, but it works. Plus, for the drugs, I'll just say, you know, if you read the news all the time, it's so depressing. No wonder why you're zoning out. But on the other hand, you know, if you have no point and purpose in life, I mean, what are you going to do? And I know Trump is trying to bring back jobs. And like I said in the last video, the jobs that are coming back are not going to be the jobs we knew years ago. This is a victory lap for Donald Trump. There's more work to be done, but at the same time, if people don't get a break, this could all fall apart. You know, you have the tax cuts he wants to implement and the wage cuts of no tip taxes and no tax on overtime. Well, that will be beneficiary, but if your country has tariffs on it, which ours does through Canada, that means all your goods and services will be going up. So any break you get on your paycheck won't look like a break. It'll just look like, hey, it'll look like that money's already been spent before it's even on your paycheck. The way the tariffs will be. The way the tariffs will be. Now, I will say this, is if Canada finally gets serious and takes care of their border, which if they don't know how to take care of their border, all they got to do is open up the old playbook to Operation Red. I mean, they were building a wall then out of barbed wire to keep the U.S. out. To keep the U.S. out from an invasion. So maybe they should look up that again and say, hey, maybe we should do it again. All right, guys. Later.